start the brew day, every time I fill this up with sanitizer, I've already PBW'd it, and I run the sanitizer, the Star Sand, backwards through the plate chiller, just to sanitize the plate chiller and, you know, sanitize everything else before I go. It's a very easy way to sanitize the plate chiller before you're filling it with hot wort. Obviously the hot wort will do all the boiling work, but this is just an easier way that I've found to do it. I just, you know, sanitize everything first before you start anyway. You've always got a 5-gallon bucket, a Star Sand, well I have before I start. So you just plug the pump in and then recircuit back through everything for about 5 or 10 minutes and then start the boil day. So to boiling today, we will have Berliner Weisse. So we're going to do a kettle sour, and I'll cross back once I've mashed in and run through the kettle souring technique that I'm going to do. Okay, so we're all doughed in. I've just started the mash timer. We're mashing at 150 today for 60 minutes. Recirculation is yep, flying away in there, so that's good. And then after we've mashed for an hour, I'm going to drain. They'll hang the bag up, drain her off, and then we will start our kettle sour. So the fun stuff starts. All right. Mashed it for 60 minutes at 150, and now what we've done is we've collected the wort into the kettle. I'm brewing the bag, so I've just strained it out and boiled it for 15 minutes, and then brought it down to between 95 and 100. And now what we're going to do is we're going to check the pH, and we need the pH to be between, well, I'm going for 4.5. And to do that, what we do is we have a pH meter. And this is the pH meter here. So I've already got the buffer solution in there, and I've already made sure that it's accurate. So what we do is we put it in the wort, and we see where the wort's at the moment. So at the moment we're at 5, pH of 5. So what we need to do now is bring this pH down using lactic acid. That's what I'm going to use anyway, lactic acid. And all we do is we put a little bit in, and I just do a cap at the time. It comes down quick and comes down slow, and then all of a sudden it usually comes down quick. So you sort of sneak up on it. And you would just put a cap in at a time like that and give it a stir. Okay, we just stir it. And you don't need a lot of this pH, this lactic acid, to get the pH down. But it's better to sneak up on it than overshoot it. We'll check it again, see where we're at. 4.7. 4.7. See, it doesn't really use a lot, which is great. I've had this lactic acid for a long time, and I've still got lots left. Granted, I haven't done a lot of kettle souring, but I haven't had one screw up yet. Hopefully it's not it. We'll stir, and let's see where we're at again. Right on 4.5. Okay, so right on 4.5. So I took 2 caps from a pH of 5 to get it down to 4.5. So yeah, it doesn't take much at all to get it down to 4.5. And then when you finish with it, give it a clean, and then put it back in the storage solution. Yeah, just in a little container like this, because you don't use much of the storage solution otherwise, because you don't have to keep getting storage solution every time it gets dried and crusty. Alright, so I'm going to take the camera off, and then I'll get a different angle, and I'll show you how we cover it up over after we put the lactobacillus in. Okay, so the wort is at the moment sitting on 102, 103. So the yeast we're using is the 5335. You can also use 2 handfuls of Pilsner malt. That works well, and then also Potbelly peach juice as well. I'm sticking with the tried and true, so I'm just going to use this. So I'm going to pitch the yeast straight into here, well within temperature for this yeast, or this lactobacillus, should I say. I'm going to just let it do its thing. I'm really not going to stir it, and now we're going to put Glad Wrap over on top. I've got the heat probe still running in here because the element will be running for the whole time. So this is the trickiest bit there is, to get the Saran Wrap or Glad Wrap, depending on which part of the continent it is, in you know, without all screwing up. So this is what I do. I just put it right across the top, and then I'll slowly bring it all the way down. But at least there's got to try and make about 4 or 5 inches of overhang, and I'll purposely pull it to one side first, and then move it out. And if you get it in there without any air too. So that's why it's better to do one side first, just like that, and then bring it up the sides as well. So it just helps keep the air out. I go both ways instead of just one way. I'll do a couple of ways, just to make sure I get it all right. But yeah, this is the way I've found it. It works best. I do both sides to start with, and then make sure they've got no air bubbles as well. It's pretty important to make sure there's no air bubbles in there, and you can sort of just pull it away from one bit when you're pressing it across the surface, and the air bubble will come right out one side. And I like to make sure it's good so that you can sort of feel it, like, and it's really weird, but that's the way it goes. And then I just put another one across the other way. So where the probe goes down, that's where I'm going to be testing the pH from if I can't get any out of the tap. But the way you want to do it is open up your tap and drain a little bit from the bottom, because that way you won't put any more oxygen into the top of the wort. And then the little bits, if you want to, because that bit doesn't look right to me over there, so I'm going to run another bit. You can't have enough, because it all comes out in one sheet, so it's not really hard to get it out. So you might as well make sure you've got enough. Yeah, and then just press it all around the edges like that. So I've just come to check on it, and it appears to be hissing away. So it's actually, let's check the pH where it's at. So we can through that 3.5. Right on. Yeah, it's actually yeah, it's effervescing there. It's bubbling away. All right, so what we're going to do now is take the plastic out and bring it to the boil and go through the regular boil. Okay, so we've got our boil. First and only addition will be an ounce halotelle. So put that in, and that's for the full boil. Okay, we probably don't need it that hard to boil, so I'll turn it down a little bit. That's better, that's better. Don't need that hard to boil. Alright, so away we boil. Love these easy ones with just single hop addition. All right, everybody, welcome back. We finally got to the end of the sour. It came out really well, like visually, and the clarity is right where I wanted it. I think it's pretty typical for the style. I've seen clearer sours, but this one, remember this one's got the passion fruit juice straight into the keg. So I didn't expect it's going to be, you know, clear as a bell, but it's pretty clear. It looks just pretty. I know you can see that the light down there. It's just pretty lemony, just with a tint of that orange passion fruit. It looks like green. It looks like passion fruit. It's beautiful. I did use in the keg the Amorti juice puree, and now we picked up this at the National Home Brewers Convention a month ago, and I sent maybe 4 bottles of this out into some of the subscriber packs. So this is just one of the way that you guys can use them. And it's got some description on the back, but beautifully, just so clean and beautiful taste, no chemically pure, you know, it just tastes like puree. Definitely a great little concentrate puree to use. Okay, so to the sour. So it went pretty well, the sour. It looks amazing. Like to smell, there's like, you can like smell a little bit of the passion fruit. I think it's hard to actually pick it up as passion fruit. It's just a really crispy smell. It smells really nice. The head lasted as long as I thought. This is the same pour from the keg that I did now. That's maybe, gosh, 10 minutes ago, because I've been screwing around trying to get this camera inside and set up, and the head seems to last really well, but it's very effervescent. It's very bubbly to look at. So let's have a taste. Oh, one of the bubbles went up my nose. It's really, it doesn't look that carbonated, but it's got that zingy, carbonated-y. It tastes, it's a really mild sour, which is perfect for me because I've tasted some sours over the year and it's like, oh my god, it's, you know, my ass is puckering as well as my lips on that one is just too sour to drink. And they've tried to compensate by, you know, that big fruit flavor with it. So I get that. If you've got a really strong fruit flavor, they go for the, you know, the lower end of the pH, down really close to 3. I don't like that. I like the zingy, zesty, you know, not that real gets you in the jaw, and then the passion fruit is just really light. You know, that passion fruit's really light anyway, and it's got that zinginess about it. It's perfect. It's really, really good. I'm going to send some of this out. You know, you guys that live in the US where I am, if you want to try some of this, you know, I'm always open to send some beer mail out. I've got a lot of 5 gallons of this in the keg, and it's at the end of the summer here in Seattle, so it needs to be drunk. But I think this recipe is so simple. It's beautiful. It's just simple. It's like, you know, there's hardly anything in it, and you know, 1 hop addition, beautiful. I really like this style. I really, you know, sours don't last long in my house, and this one's so easy to drink. 3.8%. That's what it comes in at, 3.8%. And the head is still last. It's just so pretty. It's just such a pretty light drink that is so unusual for a beer. I think sours are the next haze. Sours are the next haze. So enjoy. If you like my videos, it's the first time watching. I brew a lot of home brews, and I do start to finish the whole brew day to the tasting. Please subscribe to my channel if you like it, give me a thumbs up, it helps me a long way, and I will see you soon. Cheers.